the women of South Africa under the patronage of WDB in the context of the African Women's Decade and in solidarity with sisters from other parts of Africa and abroad, having convened during the WDB 25th anniversary celebrations, Making Poverty History, at the Rembrandt Hall of the University of Pretoria from the 11th to the 15th of July 2016, after extensive dialogues, commissions, and workshops, and guided by our multi-faith understandings of a moral universe, hereby declare that, despite the fact that all our national, continental, and global development goals, including the National Development Plan, the African Union Women's Decade grassroots approach to gender equality and women's empowerment, Africa's Agenda 2063, the Beijing Platform of Action, and the Sustainable Development Goals identify the eradication of poverty and inequality as the main challenge towards achieving sustainable human development. So it's a big sentence that says, despite all these documents pointing to poverty as being the stumbling block to sustainable human development, there has been a deeply disappointing and ineffectual response to the poverties of income, health, education, productive self-reliance, and opportunity that afflict more than half of the world's inhabitants, and especially women and children. So that's one of the long sentences we are going to break up so that it makes more sense. During this celebratory dialogue, we have noted that the central value of families, in whatever form it may take, remains the nucleus of all human development interventions. Universal access to quality education remains the core challenge and has been highlighted as a key driver to socio-economic development, social justice, and equal growth for all. Flawed and skewed macroeconomic policies designed mostly by men are structural impediments to holistic human development and do not serve the needs of women. Increasing levels of hunger and food insecurity, the lack of safe and reliable water supply, unemployment, and the cost of electricity are unacceptable in a resource-rich country such as South Africa. Access to finance and land credit remains major inhibitors to women's agency, productive self-reliance, and participation in both small and big business. In a knowledge and information network society, the majority of South Africa's women remain disconnected from the enabling power of ICTs. So these are all the problems that we've discussed. We therefore declare that as women of South Africa, 1, we seek upscaling and replicating models of psychosocial family development and support, and we will relentlessly work towards the improvement of quality education to ensure it becomes a tool of empowerment for the future of our children. 2, we will strive to come up with an alternative, compassionate, and sharing economic model with a focus on localizing policy to ensure local producers are prioritized and supported. 3, we will support the formation of cross-border trade agreements and associations that will benefit women. 4, decisive action will be taken to establish a women's development bank in order to provide infrastructure development funding to direct funds towards the productive self-reliance of women, especially in the areas of food, water, sanitation, and alternative resources. 5, we will work towards strengthening solidarity and collaboration between women, and women's movements on the African continent by leveraging and harnessing the power of ICTs to improve the quality of the lives of women, including the investment in physical ICT infrastructure, and also for the dissemination of feminist knowledge and networks, and to attain women-centered goals of development. We envision a future in which women's untapped and sacred human potential is fully released and harnessed in public policy, and where women are empowered and resourced to be agents of their own development. So what I've just read will be the concluding paragraph, and as you agreed with me, we will have point number 6, talking to the youth, young women in particular, and our intergenerational dialogue process, and 7 will be our WDB/SAWIT partnership going forward. I thank you all.